What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the reading. I wanted to talk today about jealousy and how these stories of, you being jealous of somebody else being jealous of you is all really just an illusion. We're going to talk about jealousy and what the truth of it really is and how it can help you manifest. And so, okay, I'm going to assume that you already have a basis understanding of conscious manifestation. We are all one. You are both your human self and source. You are everything. Everything is source, right? Okay. And your consciousness itself, we are experiencing humanity, right? And one aspect of humanity is jealousy, is having this feeling of jealousy. But what jealousy really is the universe or yourself telling yourself that you already have whatever it is that you're jealous of, but you're forgetting. So there's a part of you that needs light from your own consciousness to heal and love that part of you. Because there's nothing going on outside of you. There's just your perception of things and your internal stories, the stories you tell yourself. But the reality is, we are all one. So whoever you're jealous of or whatever situation you're jealous of, it's just another version of you as consciousness. So remember, when you're jealous of somebody else, you're really just being jealous of yourself. And that is really silly. You don't need to cling to a physical outcome because fulfillment only comes from within you. So when you're perceiving a situation or whatever that triggers jealousy in you, it's really just because your awareness has been preparing for that moment. And we can look at this as a purge, it's an old paradigm leaving. It's also a manifestation, like that situation in that moment when you get that pang of jealousy, that is a manifestation of you already thinking about the worst outcome or like a bad outcome or an unfavorable outcome. So all the power is within you as consciousness, as the human, as the observer. There's nothing going on outside of you. It's really just your perception. Okay, let's use SP for an example, or relationships. If you see somebody else, being pursued by the person you want, they're just another version of you. And it doesn't feel like it to the human because, we perceive it somebody else. That is just you telling yourself, or that is you giving yourself information of, hey, you still don't believe that you're worthy of this love, that you're worthy of this SP. But when you start to look at it as like, I am also that person because I am unconditional love. And if they're in a relationship that's loving, like I am also experiencing that in a different timeline. It sounds a little bit crazy, but here's the thing is like, you don't need to force yourself to do anything about it. You just have to change your perception, be at peace with yourself, and know that it's going to manifest exactly how you want it to. Because it has to. It has to. If you manifested that situation that gave you pang of jealousy by thinking of lack, by thinking of an old identity, by thinking of all your old experiences, you can manifest a better outcome. You can manifest the outcome that you desire. It really just takes discipline. But within yourself, it's not like a discipline like a force or like a confinement. It's a discipline of like, I choose to be happy no matter what. I choose to pick the most loving option every single time because I am unconditional love. Like, jealousy is really just an illusion. Another way to think about it is jealousy is just information. Just like anger, just like any other negative emotion. Actually, any emotion it's just information presenting itself to you. It doesn't mean anything you don't want it to mean. I already pulled some cards. And to start out, we have the Fool. And what I love about the Fool being the first card out is it is confirming that we are brand new in every single moment. We are brand new every single moment. We are back to the zero. Because the Fool is the number zero. Zero isn't a number, I know. But it's the number 0 card in the major arcana. And so it's really highlighting like, we are neutrality. We are just awareness. We are just that 0 point. We are always at 0 point. When we come back to just that state of awareness, we are limitless. With the Ace of Wands, this talks about creativity. It talks about the seed being planted. Okay, so I want you to look at this image with me. It talks about a creative seed being planted in your consciousness, in your mind, in your heart's mind, of whatever it is you want. So if you're planting a seed of lack of jealousy, if you're ruminating on the past of, not having this thing, it's going to come into fruition in some way, shape, or form. But from that moment, we can always decide that we're brand new to come back to the 0 point and start again, plant a new seed. We can always plant a new seed, because when we plant a new seed, we have the Death card here. That is where transformation happens. We don't need to ruminate on situations that reflect lack and jealousy and ego. Okay, one kind of story I'm feeling called to talk about is as humans, we are so, I don't want to say addicted, but maybe I do because we have the devil right here. But we're so addicted, or we're so attached to this idea of a character arc or a character development, right? When we're thinking of a story, we think of the main character, there has to be an antagonist, there has to be a problem, and then the problem has to be solved. But when you take all of that away, strip all of that away, we come back to this 0 point. I'll bring it up again. We come back to this 0 point, and that is where true death and rebirth happens. That is where true transformation happens, is when you just let go of all the stories, you let go of the past. And I don't mean just deluding yourself or gaslighting yourself. I don't mean gaslighting yourself into this didn't happen, so I don't have to feel it. If it comes up, feel it, but let it go. And come back to this 0 point. Come back to this point of being a fool. Come back to the beginning of a new story. At any point in time, in any present moment, we can always decide we're starting a new story. And the story it could be boring. It could be boring, as in we don't need a problem to be solved. We don't need a main character and an antagonist. It could just be a happy story. It could just be it could be the end part of the story that's just fulfillment, and happy ending, whatever. That is where true death and rebirth happens. From this place of pure awareness, and not saying to lose your humanity, definitely honor your humanity, but recognize that is the human part of you. We are conscious souls, we are conscious beings. And with this devil card, there's always going to be temptation. There's always going to be temptation to create a problem that needs to be solved. There's always going to be temptation that brings in an antagonist to your main character who you want to identify as. But the truth is that, another message I'm getting is when you assume other people are jealous of you, you're continuing that same cycle of jealousy. Even if you're not the one who's experiencing the jealousy firsthand, when you're assuming other people are jealous of you, you're priming yourself to then experience the jealousy in some way, shape, or form. So cut the illusion that there's people that are jealous of you, there are people that are out to get you, because your world is what you make of it, and why would you want to bring that into your world? Why would you want to bring that into your story? Wouldn't you just want to be happy? Wouldn't you just want to be free from being the one who is jealous, from being the one who people are jealous of? Because that is their reality. You know what I mean? Let it be in their reality. It is not in yours. No one's jealous. No one's jealous of you. With this Hanged Man, it's talking about a new perspective. It's talking about surrendering. Yeah, so I'm just getting that message of give it up. Give up this story that we think we need as humans to achieve our manifestation. The manifestation is here now whenever you think about it. So it brings me back to the message of jealousy is just you reminding yourself you already have the manifestation, but that feeling is giving you information that you're forgetting that. So the manifestation, anytime you think about it, it's existing. But how do you want to think about it? Do you want to think about it through the lens of jealousy of not having? Or do you want to think about this manifestation as it is promised? It is actually promised to you. On the back of the deck, we have the Lovers. Take that as you will. We have Temperance. But no, with the Lovers card, this could talk about relationships, SP, as I just, talked about here, but it's also giving me the message of you always have a choice. You always have a choice in every single present moment. If you made a bad choice 50 times in 10 minutes of creating a story out of jealousy, or a story out of lack and unfulfillment, well, guess what? It's a brand new moment. You could choose differently. You can choose differently. You can plant that seed in. You can always plant a new seed in your heart's mind. Temperance is underneath the Lovers. So this talks about faith and divine timing. So when you plant this new seed in your mind's eye, hold some faith that it's going to happen. Hold faith that it's going to happen, because it's promised to you. It is promised to you. When you choose and you decide, it's promised to you. Do everything you can emotionally, mentally, behaviorally to prepare for this manifestation, because it's coming in. It's coming in. Every moment you decide, it's coming in. Okay, so we have under the sun, expansion, and 666. So when you get these pangs of jealousy, it feels almost like a contraction. Like you have to make yourself small so that it can fit whatever story you just perceived out there. But when you shed this light of your consciousness, that's what I'm getting with under the sun, is when you shed this light of your consciousness on that part of you that does feel the lack, you're going to expand. You're going to expand. And 666 for me is unconditional love. It's unconditional love. So yeah. Okay, stay loving, stay blessed, live, laugh, like, and subscribe. Thank you.